ओके दोस्तों, आज की इस वीडियो में हम लोग कुछ कोर कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ पैरेलल इक्वेशंस जो कि ग्राफ में ड्रा करते हैं उसके कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर करते हैं। एक तो है फर्स्ट कॉन्सेप्ट इज पैरेलल लाइंस। पैरेलल लाइन किसे कहते हैं और किस सिचुएशंस में, कौन से इक्वेशंस में पैरेलल लाइन आते हैं। सेकंड इज हाउ टू ड्रा द लाइंस एंड थर्ड इज विच साइड ऑफ द कोऑर्डिनेट द points are coming, this positive positive or positive negative और negative positive और negative negative कौन से साइड पे हमारे x और y कोऑर्डिनेट्स आते हैं। और लास्ट पॉइंट इज हाउ वी कैन डिसाइड which value of x we should take to get the value of y and find the value of x and y from parallel equations। ठीक है, हम लोग लेते हैं जो लास्ट एग्जांपल हमने जो सॉल्व किया था, जो कि एक पेयर ऑफ लीनियर इक्वेशंस दिया गया था और इस पेयर ऑफ लीनियर इक्वेशंस से हम लोग फाइंड आउट किए x एंड y। Even though we got the solution x as 3 and y as 4, but the core concept is how many points we need to take to draw the lines. This is first thing, and these lines are crossing each other, but in what scenarios line can be parallel to each other। जो कि लीनियर इक्वेशंस दिया गया है, ऐसी लीनियर इक्वेशंस जहाँ पे हम लोग जब ड्रा करेंगे तो ये लाइंस पैरेलल लाइंस होते हैं। इस पैरेलल लाइंस पे कैन वी गेट द सोल्यूशन ऑफ एक्स एंड वाई? वी कैन नॉट गेट द सोल्यूशन बिकॉज दीज लाइंस आर नॉट क्रॉसिंग ईच अदर। ठीक है, फर्स्ट हम लोग लेते हैं पैरेलल लाइंस। कंसिडर द इक्वेशन y इक्वल्स टू एक्स प्लस 4। ठीक है, y इक्वल्स टू एक्स प्लस 4। इस इक्वेशन से हमने ये पॉइंट्स ड्रा किए हैं। इस पॉइंट्स को हम लोग ड्रा करते हैं ग्राफिकल रिप्रेजेंटेशन में। x is 0, y is 4, y is 4, so the point will become here। okay, now 2 and 6, this is 2 and this is 6, and 6 and 10, this is the 6 and the 10 is, it becomes here, so the line will be like this। okay, now if I consider one more equation, y equals to x plus, instead of 4 I will say 5। now how this table looks like, now we need to draw one more table। okay, here I am going to draw one more table for these equations। consider the value of y and x same as what we have taken here। okay, now consider 0, 2 and 6। now if I substitute 0 in these equations, it will be 0 plus 5, it will be 5, and 2 plus 5 it becomes 7, 6 plus 5 it becomes 11। now can you see here how it is similar to these equations, because this equation was x plus 4, but here we consider one more equation as x plus 5, and the points are for these exactly x values, the y becomes, instead of 4 it will be 5, instead of 6 it will be 7, and instead of 10 it will be 11। now can you draw this equation as well? okay, now 0 and 5 it becomes here 0 and 5, I will circle this one। 2 and 7, 2 and 7 it becomes here 6 and 11, 6 and 10 was here, so it will becomes here। now if I draw this line, it is going to be like this। okay, now with this one, can you see these two lines? The second equation is, this is green line, and the first equation is y equals to x plus 4, which becomes this line। even if you extend these lines, will they meet each other? No, they will not meet each other, so these two lines becomes parallel lines। so with this parallel line, they are not crossing each other, we will not get value of x and y। so in this situation it is impossible to get the value of x and y, that's why it is called parallel line। can you see the equation format of this one? This is x plus 4, x plus 5. So whatever value you will take, it is no more going to cross each other, because these lines is going to be parallel. Even if you extend on the positive side, or in this coordinate also, if you extend, it is not going to collide each other. So this becomes parallel line. So we know in what situation the equation becomes parallel line. In that case, will not get the value of x and y. ठीक है, सेकंड कॉन्सेप्ट लेते हैं कि so which point we need to take to draw the equations. Now for these equations, now let's delete this one. Okay, we are no more required since we solve the parallel lines. How to find whether I should take 0, 8, 3, 4, or 100? So we don't know which point we need to take to draw the lines. Now it depends on your practice. Okay, the more and more you practice, you will get exactly those points that becomes feasible to draw the lines which collide each others. Now if you consider the previous screen, we have taken 0 and 10. Let's consider this 0 and y, x is 0, y becomes 10, so it comes here. The moment you take a second value which becomes, let's consider 3, so this 3, so it is going to be like this. Okay, now for the same equation, another equations which is a pair of linear equations, 0 is 4, 0 is 4 here. The second point was 2 and 6, 2 and 6. Now you can realize, even if I consider these 2 points, this equation becomes like this. Okay, now with the 0, 3 and 4, 0, 3 and 4, it becomes like this. So only these points if we take, so these equations become collide each other. So we don't require even for 8. 8 is this one, the value is going to be 2. Now even if you don't consider these points, still the two equations are crossing each other and we get the solutions. And how to identify these points becomes, the more and more practice the equations, graphically solving the equations, you will get the idea on which point these equations are crossing. But in this example, it was very easy because we know here from the table itself, I can identify on the 3 and 7 lines are crossing each other. For example, let's consider this 3. If I take the value as 3 here, now 3 plus 4, it becomes 7. Now itself from the table, I can say, okay, this is my solution even without drawing the lines. This is how we have to identify the points based on where the lines are going towards. Even if you consider these points, yes, you can take these x and y, but you need to extend the line so that it should cross this line. This is how we need to identify only few values of x from where we can able to draw the lines. Now the next question is, how many points I need to take? Can I take 10 points? Can I take 2 points? It depends. Okay, let's consider only 0 and 8. 0 it becomes 10 and 8 becomes this one. So with this 2 point, we can still draw the lines. We don't require these points. Not necessary, because from these 2 points I can draw the lines. And 0 and 2 for the second equations. For the second equation, 0 and 2, yes, we can draw the line, and it it needs to be extend because we don't have these points, so we need to extend so that it should cross this line. So only with fewer points on the x and y for equation first and second, still you can get the solutions with these 2 points. But it is better to take wide range so that you can draw the correct exact line. Now the third point is, these values of first equation all are positives and these values are positives. Now the third question was, can I take the negative values? Yes, still you can take the negative values. Let's move this one. Okay, now if I take this graph as it is, now let's extend this one. Okay, and extend y-axis. The coordinates are, here it will be -1, -2, -3, -4. This is going to be y coordinates. Okay, and this is going to be x, this is -x, and this becomes -5. Now what is the value of y? X, it becomes -1, -2, -3, -4. Yes, we can take the value of x. Let's consider the first equations, these equations. Okay, 0 and 10. Instead of 0 value, we can take the value of x as -1. Now if I substitute -1 here, so 10 minus of -1, it becomes 10 plus 1, it becomes 11. Let's consider -1, substitute -1 here, minus into minus becomes plus, 10 minus of -1, it becomes 10 plus 1 becomes 11. This is how this 11 comes. Now in which coordinate we are moving? The x becomes -1, here it will be, but the value of y becomes 11. Okay, so it is somewhere 9, this is going to be 10, it is going 11. Now if I consider this point, -1, x is -1, and 11, 11 becomes here. This is what I said in the last equations. Okay, even if you extend this line, it is going to be like these points, it is going to. So here is the point -1 and 11, this becomes -1 and 11. So point can be on the positive coordinates, or it can go to the second coordinate, which is x value becomes minus, y becomes plus. In the same way, can we go here? Yes, we can go here. So x become positive, but y becomes negative. So in this coordinate also you can extend. But do we require to take these values? No, because with this just 2 point, we are able to draw the lines and it is colliding with the second equation. So even if you don't consider, still we can get the value of x and y. I hope this is clear, which values we should take so that we can go to the second coordinate, third coordinate, and fourth coordinate. Yes, still you can take, and line will go to the other coordinates. Now the last point is, okay, the last point is how efficiently we should take the value of x and y. Okay, now consider equation first, 10 minus x. Even if you consider these two values, so we are going to get this one, and we are able to draw a bigger line. Even if we take this one, so we'll get these 2 points, but we can extend this line and we can cross the line and get the answers. So it is not necessary we should take more values, but if you take 4 5 values, with the 5 values of x and y, we can easily draw the line. So as a best practice, you should take at least 4 or 5 values. And if you are considering only 2 value of x, you should take a higher range, not very close. We should not take 0 and 1. If we take 0 and 1, it is tough to extend the line. If you take 0 and 8, so the range of x is much higher. 1 is 0 here, okay, and 8 is here, so we can easily draw the line. So if you are going to take lesser point, then the range of x should be high so that we can draw the lines. So it is not a mandatory we should take only 2 points, 3 points, no, but efficiently you have to guess based on the equations which 2 point I should take. And how we can get these values is, it depends on the practice. The more and more practice, you will get the idea which point will help to draw the lines easily and get the solutions. So in this equation we learn in what situation the equation become parallels, how to draw the lines, from which point I should draw the lines, and third is which coordinate the equation comes, whether it is comes on first, second, or third coordinate or fourth coordinate. It depends on the value. Value can be goes to the minus x here and y second coordinates, or it can extend to this coordinate as well. And the last point is how efficiently we should take the coordinates. You should take a wider range, and if you are going to take lesser number of x point, if you are taking 3 or 4 point of x, you can easily draw the lines. So it helps. Initially you should try for 3 or 4 values of x, different values, and the more and more practice you can get the solution even with lesser number of x values. For example, here directly I'm jumping from 0 to 8. So with this 0 and 8 I can easily draw the lines. So आगे बढ़ते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियोस में ऑफ इक्वेशन 3.1 एंड विल सॉल्व फॉर क्वेश्चन नंबर 2.